Tonight on the podcast, we got so much geek news for you. It's going to make you sick. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation State of Play. We're going to be talking about The Boys. We're going to be talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to talk about Flash. We're going to talk about Kevin Feige leaving Marvel for Warner Brothers. What? And we're going to talk about Lance's shower thoughts as he recaps Phoenix Fan Fusion. Max,
dun, dun, dun.
hit that intro and let's go. It is a balmy 100+ degrees on this Friday night in Phoenix. You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
Hey, we're the gang's all here. Welcome back.
I know,
Everyone,
dude.
Myself included.
I
Jeez
know, we're
Louise.
all together. We are family.
Yes. Guys, how are you? How is everyone doing this week?
I'm good.
Oh, look,
man.
I'm Chad, Stumbling Jedi. What's up, Stumbling Jedi? Welcome.
You know what? Stumbling Jedi is part of the family too.
Yes,
True.
he is.
Yep.
We like Stumbling Jedi, and I know he's usually too busy to tune in live lately, especially because it's like 3 hours behind him. So it's good to see you. Good to see you, buddy.
It's 3 hours ahead. He's ahead of us.
Yeah, I meant to say we're 3 hours behind. I
Okay.
I don't know how I worded it, but
Well, I hope you guys are all having a glorious Friday. I know it's been a pretty darn good one here. This week flew by, and that's what happens when Monday's a holiday, I guess. The week just flies by, and I'm okay with that because I'm ready for a weekend. It just goes to show that I think this country needs to have 3-day weekends be a standard. I
Yes.
just
I
need a
agree.
standard 3-day weekend. Fridays
4-day
off.
work weeks.
Yep, exactly.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
not the
my-
bastard stepchild, Stumbling Jedi. It's all good, buddy.
My last weekend was actually a 4-day weekend because I get every other Friday off. So that is nice that my company allows me to do that.
That
yeah,
is
that
nice.
is
I wish
that
I
is a
got
nice
that.
perk.
So
But
Yeah, I guess I technically only worked 2 days this week, just because I took off Thursday
lazy
for my
piece of
birthday.
shit.
Yeah. Well, I had Monday off for Memorial Day, and then I took Thursday off for my birthday. And I'm not here. I have a big thing, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. If I'm going to take a Thursday off,
Whoa,
I'm not
easy.
going. Yeah, that's
easy.
okay.
Nobody needs to know about your big thing, all right?
If I'm taking Thursday off, I'm not going back in on Friday. It's not happening. So I just took today off too. So now I get a nice long weekend, and then I'm traveling for work next week. So it's going to be weird.
Nice. Where are you going?
Annapolis.
Ooh.
That's like nearby Baltimore. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the weather's going to be a lot cooler.
Yes, it is.
80 degrees for the high every single day. And I'm sure that people that live there are like, oh, it's so hot, guys. I'm so sorry. And I'm just
It'll be
gonna
humid though, so
I'm going to be
you-
laughing.
You probably won't feel much of a difference.
I don't think it's going to be that humid over there.
It gets pretty humid, man.
Does
Yeah.
it? All
Oh
right.
yeah.
I mean, I know the South gets really humid.
Yeah, the Midwest too.
Well, I was there a month ago. It didn't feel humid at all, but maybe it'll be humid when I'm there next week.
Maryland, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're
The summer months, bro.
yeah, that's true.
Just sweat your
May
bag
versus
off.
Early June.
Then we'll talk about how big it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stumbling just said it too. You're gonna sweat your nuts off.
I'll be fine. We're gonna be inside. Whatever. We're gonna be
that's
outside
good.
doing. There's like this river tour cruise thing that we're gonna do at one point. So maybe that'll be hot, but
Nice.
I'll be in
Lance, what's
shorts
new
and
with
a
you, buddy?
t-shirt.
Nothing much, man. Just school's kicking my ass, work's kicking my ass.
Anna is too, right?
Anna's kicking my ass. The kids are kicking my ass. Everybody, you two are kicking my ass. Everybody's just kicking my ass, man. No, it's good, man. It's good to be busy.
Stumbling says to bring the powder. Little cornstarch. Do a little cornstarch, and then you can deep fry them and have yourself some hush puppies.
You know, that sounds like the kind of thing that the Deep would eat. But we'll get into that.
Stick Boy commenting live from Boston tonight. Welcome, Sticks. Glad you could join us. Glad to have everyone here tonight. this is your first time tuning in your chat, make sure to say what's up, become part of the show. We're glad to have you here. We're glad to have everybody that watches us and chats on with us every Friday night. Hope you guys are having a great week again. Happy, healthy, good to go, ready to have a good time tonight. It's business as usual in my household, so just
I am happy, healthy today, but I'm going to be a lot less healthy, but I'm going to be very happy tomorrow night when we have our Absolute Geek reunion party for my birthday at Rodizio's. So,
oh shit! Thank goodness you reminded me.
All you can eat Brazilian barbecue, baby. I'm gonna be happy.
That's 2 weekends in a row. That's 2 weekends in a row. We're all hanging out.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm planning on not eating anything tomorrow. I'm gonna bring my sweatpants. I'll be good.
Your Thanksgiving pants.
Yep, make sure there's no restrictions.
And well, it works out for Matt because they give you the reward within 14 days of your birthday.
Yeah,
so he gets to take advantage of it too.
Did he sign up for their mailing list?
I did.
Smart boy. So it looks like I'm the only schmuck not that's paying for it.
My beautiful fiance for reminding me of that, which she says, make sure to bring your Manscaped stuff.
I was gonna make a joke about that.
Your ball deodorant and ball toner.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be fun.
Sticks as I landscaped the hedges before I left. Aaron, thanks for asking.
Oh, that's great.
Man. But yeah,
it'll be fun night tomorrow night.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear everyone's had a good week. Let's get into the show here, the meat and potatoes. Now, I had to lead off with this as we get into geek news. It's not so much geek news, but last weekend we had Phoenix Fan Fusion here, and I know Lance has been dying
Pepperoni
to get some stuff off his chest. So yeah, Pepperoni shower thoughts here.
When you said shower thoughts in the opening, I thought you meant something like sexual.
I'm sure you did, and I probably did. I don't know, but this is a family show, Lance.
I would not call us that.
There's a couple of issues I had with Fan Fusion. First of all, every year that we went to Fan Fusion, like I've loved it, even with getting kicked out in the middle of the thing because fire alarms and all the crap that's happened in prior years. This year I didn't go Thursday, or no, did they have a Thursday one?
No.
No. This year I didn't go Friday. I only went Saturday. Normally I go all 3 days. I stay for the whole thing. This time I couldn't wait to get out of there. I mean, it just seemed like it wasn't offering anything new. And I think that if you are running these kind of conventions and you don't find something new to do every year, you're going to get bland and dull. And that's what I think Phoenix Fan Fusion is suffering from.
I like that little bit of Bostonian accent you just had come out.
Dull.
But
I mean, do I see myself going next year? I'm not sure. I didn't buy anything for myself. It was way too expensive just to attend one day. I spent with tax $88 to just go one day. It's, I don't know. And then it's barely any comic stuff. It's mostly anime. Like it seems like every year there's less and less stuff that pertains to me. Like I'm getting phased out. I don't know, Matt. What are your thoughts on it?
Look, it's been 2 years since we've had a con, right? So you would think that when it comes back, they're gonna bring the heat. And I thought maybe they would, and I was like holding out hope, and everyone I was talking to was like, they've got bigger guests, they're just waiting to announce them until the sales go up in the last minute and yada 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 yada. And that's not the case. I went there really for John Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna, and most of the creators were charging, where that usually at a con like that doesn't happen. Scott Hanna Scott Hanna wasn't charging for his autograph, but what I got signed is an Amazing Spider-Man 36. It's the September 11th issue, so it's like a kind of a like what Spider-Man did when the World Trade Centers were attacked.
Yeah.
And so Scott Hanna usually draws really cool stuff on here. I'm going to share my screen here. So on that book, as you can see here, he usually draws like the World Trade Center in the background, and he does a lot of cool stuff on these covers. And previously, it used to be free. He would just do it like John Romita Jr. does a remark on it. He draws a Spider-Man face and stuff and does a remark on it for free because that's what he does with that book. Scott Hanna used to do the same thing. $100, $200 if you wanted it more detailed now. John Romita Jr. Dude's a legend, but his art, in my opinion, has gone downhill since he did Kick-Ass. He can't get out of that Kick-Ass style.
Yeah.
$45 for his signature. And I paid it because, well, I wanted that book signed and graded. So I paid for it. But it's just like the level of guests, celebrity, and comic book wise wasn't there. People are going to come to this convention no matter what. The people coming in the door isn't going to be the problem. It's the level of guests they get. And the level of guests you would think after 2 years would have been like they would have went all out. Like, we're back. Like, let's start this off. Let's
You would have thought Robert Downey
taste.
Jr. was sitting there.
Yeah, let's get a fresh taste in everybody's mouth. Let's remind everybody what Phoenix Comic-Con / Fan Fusion is all about. And instead, they didn't bring it at all. Like, it was very flat.
It seemed
Like,
like
the
the
biggest-
name was
the
Chuck
biggest-
Norris.
Yeah, was Chuck fucking Norris. The biggest draw was Chuck Norris. And man, it just, the heat was not there. Like, they couldn't sell enough booths. So I found out that that's why the celebrities were on the main floors, because they couldn't sell enough booths to warrant the extra space
For vendors.
for vendors. Yeah. It felt like all the vendors had the same stuff. It felt like all the vendors were overpriced. All the comic books were overpriced. You try, like, everybody got into the comic book industry, and everyone got into the comic book industry and collecting and flipping and selling and buying books during the pandemic. And now that the cons are back, you're seeing that because you go to a booth and you got a dude who's going through 3 boxes of books at a time, and you scoot in there and the guy's like, "No, what the fuck are you doing? These are I'm looking at these." And you're like, "Dude, you're looking at 2. The third one you're not going through. I'm going through that too." Cool, man. Whatever you say. You know, and that happened at a couple different booths to me, and it just kind of turned me off to the whole like trying to dig for books. And it was like at a time you went to a Comic Con to get deals on things or things that you couldn't normally find. And that's not the case anymore. Now they're charging eBay graded book prices on a book that's raw and shouldn't be that price. Or, you know, like you said, this is the first time I've went to a con and God knows how long since I can remember, since I've been going, where I haven't bought anything for myself. I didn't buy anything for my kid. I didn't buy anything for myself. The only thing I really got for myself was the book signed, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, there was I walked through and there was nothing else. Now, later, I see someone post on Instagram an awesome print of Marilyn Monroe dressed as Harley Quinn that they got from the con. I'm like, fuck, man, why didn't I see that? But I'm just like, there was really nothing there that piqued my interest. Like, no good panels. Everything felt very last minute. Like, it just, the only things I could say is like the things I've had hiccups on with the past is like, at least Saturday when I was there was no fire alarms going off. Nobody tried to kill any of the celebrities. There was nothing. Like, this is the first year I got there, got my badge, got through security, and was in the convention hall in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that I remember the last time we went, you waited outside. We had a panel to do in the morning, and we had to wait outside for an hour to even get into the convention center. And then once you get in, it's just a madhouse, you know. But this time it seemed like you got in and you got through security in about 10 to 15 minutes, which was nice. Now, it did feel like I was this close to getting cavity searched, because they think they're the TSA in there or something, like you're about to jump on a flight or whatever. So it is still a little bit ridiculous. Like you have to empty your backpack and show them all your electronics and all this other crap, and it was just a little bit. I was surprised I didn't have to take off my shoes, but no, I gotta echo the statement you made about the guests, man. Like, I recognized Billy West and John DiMaggio.
DiMaggio, you had it right.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was because there's Joe DiMaggio, which is a totally different person. So I started second guess, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool to like meet them. Like, and if you guys don't know, those are very famous voice actors. But then you look over and it's like Georgie from It, which does everything here in Arizona. It's not a draw.
Well, because he lives here.
Yeah, he lives here. You had, I can't even name the other people that were there. There was like some cosplayers, I think, that had booths, but no like actors. Like the only one was Chuck Norris.
Wait, do they have
Lance
booths
missed out
or
on
booths?
a cavity search. I'm sure someone would have volunteered.
I'm there, buddy. Gotcha.
Booths, booths, booths. It just feels like they were up until like March. They were like, is this thing gonna happen? You know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, it can happen. Let's hastily throw this thing together. That's what it felt like.
Well, I think it was supposed to happen. Well, it was supposed to happen in, I believe, January. Remember, because that was when they announced it for January.
Yeah,
and
they
then
pushed it out a few times.
They pushed it out to May again.
Probably because they weren't getting vendors.
Yeah, or they were having trouble getting guests, or I mean, they had some, like Felicia Day was there. Harvey Gillian was there, who plays who's in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, Georgie. They had Doug Jones, who's in a lot of stuff. The chick who plays Crazy Jane from who's also in Encanto, but she's in Orange is the New Black and Doom Patrol. But yeah, there really wasn't that big draw, but it's a con, so people are going to come. Patrick Warburton was there. You're not going to have any problems filling the con and having attendance come, but you don't have that big draw. You don't have that big draw to warrant people spending $100 or $150 for 3 days. Like, I almost felt ripped off because I spent $50 to get in. I know you spent more because you bought tickets later, but I spent $50 for one day, and I pretty much matched that in one signature. And I'm just like, I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, the tick was there. Sticks. I've heard people say that, you're spending $150, $200 to get in the door. You feel like you almost need to spend double that on vendors to get your money's worth, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I go for like vintage toys and Funko Pops and stuff, and they were charging PPG prices that, why do I have to spend $88 to spend what I would spend from somebody on Facebook, or OfferUp or something like that? There's no real reason. And then you look at the panels, and shout out to Anthony, who we've done a few things with. He had some great panels. I went to one of his. It was a lot of fun. But besides that, it was where's the draw? Like, there was no, the panels weren't even that good.
The con for me is just an excuse to go hang out with people that, because you live on the other side of the valley or whatever, you don't get to see all the time. Like, well, at least I don't, like Jay and Corbin and you guys and stuff. So that's the draw of going to the con for me, is it's a place to hang out with like-minded people that are in the same thing as you are. But I also want to buy stuff, and I want to have that experience of meeting my favorite creators or meeting celebrities. Like, I'm not usually the big like celebrity person. There's been maybe 2 times I can remember that I've gone to meet just for a celebrity. And it's just like, all right, well, what is there for me to do here? And it's bad when even Corbin, someone who's been a flag carrier for this con, since they said it was coming back, who went as far as to contact him to get programming, who was on panels with Anthony, for him to say, man, this con was not worth it, is a big
And the
tell.
one thing he looks forward to, he can't do.
Yeah. He got cock blocked trying to do speed dating, which is so terrible. But
And he's like, this thing is on because of me, and I can't even get into it.
right.
Poor guy.
100 people an hour before it. And it was like,
Yeah,
you
that
know,
sucks.
75 dudes for 10 girls.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah, Sticks, this is the biggest con in our area. And the problem is with from what I'm hearing in stores, like when I went to the shop Wednesday to get my books, there are a bunch of people in there saying, you know, man, it wasn't worth it. The snacks were too expensive. You know, when you're going to a con, you want to eat there, you want to do everything there.
Mm-hmm.
And people are saying, oh, I had to leave to go get food because the food was too expensive there. Everything was too expensive, you know. And we're not the only ones I've heard say I left there not buying anything, and that's unusual. Like a lot of people in my local shop are saying that I left and without buying anything, and that's something that doesn't usually happen. But I hear a lot of chatter that it's from the way the people who run this convention treat these celebrities. If they have an issue or whatever, it's how they're treated and how the con is run, and nobody wants to come here. So from what I'm hearing in the shops is that unless like a change of ownership happens or somebody else comes in the area to put on a con, this is what we have to expect. Like, it's not going to be a stellar convention anymore. It's we've probably seen the heyday of Fan Fusion. And
yeah,
I mean, well, we'll see. It'll be very telling to see if Tucson gets bigger guests and bigger names than Fan Fusion did.
I have a lot of fun at the Tucson Con. Like, honestly, like it feels like what I loved about the Phoenix Con, but it's a much smaller scale. I think you get better deals on the vendor floor there. And it just feels like it's not so, and I have nothing against people that like anime or anything like that. I'm just not a fan of it. But there seems to be at Tucson Con things that attract all the different subsections of like that nerd and geek culture. Whereas it was anime, or cosplay. Anime and cosplay was pretty much
I saw
the
a good
90% of the vendors. Huh?
I saw a good mix of people, like anime and comic fans.
But I'm talking about the vendors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the vendors, it just seemed cosplay, anime, and then Funko things everywhere. But like the door price, so Matt paid $50 for Saturday, and I waited too long, and mine with tax was $88.
Yeah, Six. We have a local con this Sunday that sounds better run than this was, and it's just one day. Yeah, it's just not like it used to be. It was on the way to being one of the bigger cons, right up there with like Baltimore and San Diego and New York and Salt Lake
City is huge.
Yeah, it was right up there with them, and now it's teetering off, and
it pains me to say it because one of my buddies runs it, you know, and I know that he's a good dude and he's trying to do the best he can, but I want to stress this. I don't think it's that. I think it's the upper echelon.
Yeah,
people.
No, it's like the dude it's the dude who owns the thing. Like whoever they have to go through to get approved to book these guests and the contracting and all that. Like that's like the programming's fine. The panels they put on are fine. The after hour stuff. There's always something to do, but
I thought they were not as good as they were previous years. The paneling.
Yeah. Well,
like I usually would go to at least 2 or 3 panels a day. And I looked at the brochure, and the only one I went to was Anthony's because I was supporting him and Jay and Corbin that were in the panel. But there was no big name interviews. Like a couple years ago, they did Scott Snyder and
Todd McFarlane,
but they didn't even have those. You know what I mean?
Well, McFarlane had one, but you had to pay to go to it. It was extra cost on top of
the price. Almost $100.
Yeah, you guys are making me real happy I didn't go.
Yeah,
I didn't miss anything.
honestly, if I didn't want that signature, I probably wouldn't have gone either. But
Yeah, I almost didn't, and then Jay was like, "I'll pay for your parking," and da da da, and I'm like, "All right, dude, let's go."
I hope it gets better next year. I hope they come out swinging next year, but it wasn't there for me this year, and
Well, I've been
sad.
saying for 4 years, I hope somebody comes in and like puts on a con and shows how it should be done. Because all these other states, we're the 7th largest city in the nation, I think. All these other states have these great cons. The fan base is here, but
I guess that depends on who you ask, because we used to have amazing Arizona in February. It was always Valentine's Day weekend, and they left because they said the fan base wasn't here. So who knows?
I hate that, dude. Like, the fan base isn't here, but maybe you're just putting on a shitty con.
Well, in my opinion, that con did get a little stagnant, and it was the same guests year after year after year, and it felt very much like saying, we know you're going to come, so we're just going to give you the same, we're going to book our friends and give you the same people year after year after year, and you're still going to spend the money to come because you're sheep. So
that's what Fan Fusion's feeling like.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But like I said, people are thirsty for cons here. People are always going to go to show off their cosplay. The community's here. Like you said, the community's here. The fan base is here. People want to go to this stuff. But any way for you to grow and get bigger and warrant charging almost as much as it costs for 3 days at San Diego, you need to bring the guests, and you're not bringing the guests.
How much is San Diego 3 days?
I think on a 3-day pass, I think I spent almost $200.
Yeah, so I spent almost $100 for 1 day.
Yeah. So it's just
fucking ridiculous. And not to mention I had to pay for parking, which was $20 or $30. So I'm already over $100. And then on top of it, everything there costs way more than what it would have cost if I bought it from eBay.
Yeah.
That's why the only things I bought were those voodoo dolls. There's a company there that makes these voodoo dolls based on comic characters and stuff, but they're handmade. Like, they actually are, it's an art to them. My kids love them. I bought 5 of them for $100. Those are the only things I bought because that's the only place I can get them. But if I was going to buy, I usually spend like $1,000 every time I go to these things on Funko Pops and vintage toys and stuff. And I walked out with only those things for my kids and a couple of T-shirts for my wife and I.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's crazy.
I didn't even buy shirts, but
I bought the shirt because it was Ramones logo. I thought it was awesome.
Oh, well, that's it with Phoenix Fan Fusion. Like, I just do better, I guess is all I can say. Is you got to do better, and you can't phone it in anymore. I think post COVID, man, to get people to come to those big things that have big crowds like that, you have to have a draw. You have to have
bring
a draw.
those hits.
Yeah, you have to bring those hits. You have to have a draw to get the people in the door.
Let's just put it this way: how much everything costs. Every year, I've taken a picture with Charlie, the supernatural Impala. It's like a fan built it. Every year, I take a picture; it's free. This year, just to take a picture with a car, it was $20. And to take the picture with the car with Felicia Day, who's not even the person I would want to take that picture with. Like, yes, I guess she's Charlie in Supernatural. It was $50. So they're even charging you to just take a picture with the car from Supernatural.
I'm so glad Styx asked this question because I was going to bring it up, but I didn't want to sound like a bitter bitch.
Apparently, we're not media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys ever try for media passes? So get this, Styx, since you brought that up. Years past, I've had no problem getting this podcast media passes for this convention. When Kyle and I went, Kyle and I, no problem getting media passes. I can get media passes for us. Granted, it's only one, but get media passes for us to San Diego Comic-Con.
And WonderCon
and WonderCon and all this. We are approved for press for WonderCon and San Diego, but we can't get press for this con. And they specifically said that podcasts are not media. And basically, it was if you weren't working for like a big news outlet or a big newspaper, you weren't considered media. And that's basically what they told us. They basically said podcasts are not media, but good luck with your podcast.
Yep.
San Diego,
which is funny because Couch Crunchers and you know, like you said, you guys used to go.
Oh, it's never been an issue.
We got press passes. You know.
Well, no, ours were panel badges. We never got press because we never applied for them. We always did panels.
Yeah,
but you're right. You are right. Previous years we could have applied for press. We just had a lot of fun doing the panels.
Yeah.
This year, none of us had the capacity to plan a panel.
And I'm not one of the people that went to the convention just to go to the convention. When I was there, I covered the con. I wrote an article, a review of it. I took pictures. We talked about it leading up to it. But we're not press. San Diego says we are, but Phoenix Fan Fusion says we aren't. So
we got offered to go to with Couch Crunchers. We got offered press badges with San Diego or with Salt Lake. We got offered press badges for the one in Austin. I think it is. There's a big one in Texas, right?
There's a couple of them in Dallas.
We got offered one in New York.
Yeah, we got Colorado Springs ones that we were offered, and a Denver con we could have gotten into. Yeah,
they reached out to us. This one I have to, and Tucson says we're press. We can get press at Tucson, but this one we had to apply for it. And 2 weeks before the con, they tell us, "Oh, we don't consider you media. Good luck on your podcast, though."
Yeah. Stick says I do Facebook pages and have gotten press/media passes for cons in the past.
They want the publicity. They want the publicity. I bought a special filming rig that I was going to film the whole con floor. I said, why am I going to do this? Because first of all, the floor sucked. And second of all, I had to pay to get in there. Like, why am I going to give them free press?
Yeah, I agree that saying podcasts aren't media is bogus.
Yeah.
But I digress. Moving on here. We're going to talk a little bit about PlayStation State of Play that happened yesterday.
Yeah, man. Something I can talk about.
Yeah, we could finally.
You guys were talking about con. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So State of Play, I enjoyed watching some of that. And I know you've got a few highlights from it. I mean, I guess if you want to go to the first one, I can start giving some of my thoughts about it.
Oh, yeah. So some of the big ones we got the announcement of Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6. But one of the bigger ones I think a lot of people are going to be excited about is the release of Spider-Man, the Ultimate Collection, and Spider-Man Miles Morales on PC August 12th.
Does Sony usually do this? Release their stuff on PC?
They have been lately, yeah.
Lately they have been?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the last few years, I own Days Gone on PC. I own God of War on PC, Horizon Zero Dawn on PC.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pick these up day one. I'll probably end up picking them up just because I love them and I would like to play them on PC. But I think this is great. And this is actually really typical of them right now. Like, there's been a lot of buzz in the gaming industry just about how Sony, I think it was actually in their earnings call recently, was talking about how PC is going to be a big part of their market and they want it to be. So, Bob, is it Bob Iger? Is that the guy who? No,
that's Disney.
That's Disney. I can't remember the name of the guy now off the top of my head who runs PlayStation, but he's a fan of putting things on PC. And I think it's a smart play because usually they're not putting stuff on PC until it's been years. Like,
well, it's been years since Spider-Man. It's been years since Spider-Man came out, and
2018. And I actually didn't even know Miles Morales was coming.
Miles Morales. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Miles Morales was part of this. I thought it was just the original Spider-Man. But because I guess sometimes what people on PlayStation, like big PlayStation fanboys, will be all mad and say, "Oh, this sucks. You're putting my games on PC. I thought they were going to be exclusive to PlayStation." And I'm like, first of all, why do you care so much that it's only on your platform? That's a weird thing to care so strongly about. But second of all, it's years in between, so it's not like for me, I'm a PC gamer, but if I want to play the new Spider-Man when it comes out, I'm going to have to own a PlayStation console. So guess what? I own a PlayStation console because when God of War Ragnarok comes out, I want to play it day and date. When Horizon Forbidden West came out, I wanted to play it day and date. I don't want to wait 5 years.
This
You
is
know?
this is my issue. Like, so all three of us own both next. We own both next gen consoles, right?
Yeah, I own a baller PC. I've got the Series X, I got the PS5. I just
Yeah.
love gaming. I don't care what it is.
So, but what I found is that the PlayStation
Jim Ryan, that's right,
fanboys,
Sticks.
the PlayStation fanboys, like the ones that are like PlayStation do or die, they won't touch an Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
they are kind of elitist like that.
Yeah, it's same with the Xbox fanboys. They're all.
Well, I guess so. I hear about it a lot from PlayStation people that are just strictly PlayStation, but
PlayStation
Xbox
people are
already used
typically
to
more
their stuff.
pompous because PlayStation has been more successful in the last 10 years.
Yeah, except you can't get one.
It's true, but my brother just got one. It got delivered today. I'm happy for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got a PS5.
I bought an Xbox and I think I've played it a grand total of 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've got one too, and I play my PC more.
Now I just I have an Xbox for status essentially. So I can be on this podcast and say I got both. I'm awesome. Yeah. I don't know.
But I don't know. Like, it's cool that this is coming, but I was kind of disappointed by State of Play. Like, I was hoping to see some gameplay footage from Spider-Man 2. I was hoping to see a little bit more about Spider-Man 2, a little bit more about games that are coming.
Wolverine.
I was hoping to hear about Midnight Suns.
I thought we'd hear about God of War Ragnarok.
God of War Ragnarok.
That's supposed to come out this year, and we haven't heard anything. But
right.
Thing is, like, there's this whole Summer Games Fest going on. It's kind of like digital E3. And the reality is we might still hear about God of War. But I'm not going to try to say that the State of Play was amazing, because it wasn't.
No,
like,
it was very
really
lackluster.
Like, this is fine. Like, that Spider-Man's coming out on PC. That's great. I've played these games already, like twice, actually. I've played each of them twice. So I'm not dying to get this in August. But Final Fantasy 16, I'm excited about. Like, that's a new game. It's coming out summer 2023. I love the Final Fantasy series. So that's awesome. I'm stoked about it. But I was hoping to, like, hear about Final Fantasy 7 Remake or God of War Ragnarok or really, like, anything.
Well, that's why I was disappointed too, because
yeah,
they're talking about, like you just said, Final Fantasy, and that's coming out 2023. Spider-Man 2 is supposed to be coming out 2023.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, so you thought you would hear more about that. I don't know if we're gonna do another State of Play later on or what, but yeah, without an E3, man, it's real up in the air. I know that Microsoft is still planning on doing their press conference on the
June
same day
12th.
they normally would.
Mm-hmm.
But I was expecting a little bit more from Sony in the State of Play, and you can tell that their clear focus is on their VR, because there was a lot of VR stuff, a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn VR stuff. They're bringing the Resident Evil Village to VR.
But we still haven't got a look at what their new VR looks like, right?
Nope. And
No, not really.
another
We know what
game
the
that
controllers
announced
look like.
is Resident Evil 4 Remake, coming March 24th, 2023. I'm stoked for that because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I love this franchise. I haven't had a big problem with the remakes, but I prefer another new Resident Evil game versus a remake.
But anyway, wasn't Village earlier this year?
Village
was that last year?
Last year.
Was that a remake?
It's pretty recent.
No,
it was a new game.
Village was a brand new game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Resident Evil 8, basically.
But I like the third person over the shoulder Resident Evils. I'm not as big a fan of the first person versions, but they're still.
I don't like first person.
I've heard the first person ones are
general.
scarier though. I've heard these latest two are scary.
I don't know. I kind of blew through the Village. I liked it. I thought it was an awesome game, but it wasn't that big. It wasn't that hard or scary. But I've heard these games are really scary in VR. Like, I could get Resident Evil 4 on my Oculus right now and play it, and I haven't done that yet, but I'm planning on it. But I don't know. I was hoping for more new announcements, like we were saying. Stick says, I hate rehash of old retro games. Put your money on time in the new games. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I agree. I think the reissue stuff is getting a little played out, but they got that Cowabunga thing coming out here soon,
collection.
And I am fucking stoked.
Oh, I am too. But that's not even like a remake. That's just a reissue of
just re-release of all the Turtles games in one
package.
Yeah, and I bought the Disney 90s video game bundle that it was like DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale, Tailspin, like all the big 90s Disney games. I bought that too, and I play the shit out of it.
It's awesome. Yeah, so I hear you guys, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I do enjoy these remakes. Granted, I haven't played the Resident Evil ones, but Final Fantasy VII Remake I thought was great. But that game is also very different than the original game. And so it's like, yeah, it's like the same story, but it's like an alternate timeline type thing. It's kind of like almost a sequel to the original game. So it's interesting in that regard. And then like the Resident Evil ones, like again, I haven't played them, but they look really pretty, and I've been wanting to play them because like right now, I'm like, I wouldn't want to go back and play Resident Evil 2, like from what, like the 90s, early 2000s, you know? But if you're telling me I can play the 2016 version, I'm in. So it's kind of like, and I don't even think these remakes are necessarily made for me. I think they're made more for like Gen Zers who were too young to play Resident Evil. Now they're older, you know, and so it's giving them an opportunity to get introduced into the franchises. So another example, Knights of the Old Republic is getting remastered. Not remastered, remade. I'm stoked for that because I've never played the original games. I really want to.
As a big Star Wars,
I haven't because the combat
I've even played those.
The combat is so atrociously bad that I can't get past the first 30 minutes. I hate the gameplay.
Those games were groundbreaking when they came out.
I remember thinking the gameplay was awful when it came out. I played it like within a year of it coming out, and I was like, this is bad. This is so bad.
Stick says, never heard a zombie game get called pretty. Thanks.
Well, I'm a visual guy when it comes to gaming, and the Resident Evil remakes are nice looking games, and they run extremely well. Like when you look at PC performance on Resident Evil 2 or 3, like these games push like 130, 140 frames and like 4K a lot of the time with not even the best graphics card. It's impressive how optimized they are. They look nice, but pretty. I understand why that word maybe isn't the word you're looking for, but you know, Gears of War, it's a bunch of monsters. Those games can be pretty.
Yeah.
It's a perspective thing, right?
Yep.
State of Play wasn't over the moon with what was announced. There is some good stuff, but it wasn't anything.
I'm holding out hope there's going to be more. I think Sony's going to release more content because they haven't said anything about God of War. We are definitely going to hear something before the month is out about God of War. Even if it's, hey, here's a little teaser. It's not coming out until next year. But
I'm excited for that Wolverine game. I'm surprised nothing came out about that.
See, I'm not. I don't think that game's coming out to like 2026. So
really? No, I think
or maybe even 2027. Like I think it's
2020. 2024 at the latest, man.
I think it's like 4 years away.
Like because they've already showed us a clip from it.
No, they showed you like a pre-rendered CGI cinematic for like concept art. It's like the Indiana Jones one that they revealed something about like last year. I don't think that game's coming out for at least 3 more years. I mean, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but usually
I just don't understand because Spider-Man 2 is supposed to come out next year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Stick says, let us gamers speak like visually stunning, not pretty. Princesses are pretty.
All right, visually stunning then. Visually stunning. Horizon Forbidden West is visually stunning. How about that?
Yes, it is.
But I guess in his mind, if I wanted to say Aloy was pretty, that's probably allowed. I guess that might work.
What's next?
But Bevis and Butt-Head, our dynamic duo of dumbasses, are coming back for another movie, streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus starting June 23rd. This time, they've already done America. This time, they're doing the universe. Bevis and Butt-Head do the universe. Paramount Plus, June 23rd. Again, we're keeping that trend of multiverse movies, as apparently Beavis and Butt-Head are set to do the multiverse. And Beavis and Butt-Head.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I am too. They released.
I didn't realize it was coming out so soon.
Yeah, they released the trailer for it online. It looks good. I'm super stoked for it. So
I'm trying to find out. Mike Judge has had a couple of. Oh no, this is the only thing that's come out recently that he's written.
There's talk of a King of the Hill reboot in the works too,
and Disney owns that, right? Now,
I don't think they own King of the Hill.
I think they might. I thought it was a Fox.
I thought it was Fox.
I would love to see King of the Hill come back, dude, because I didn't watch it growing up, but now I've seen more clips and just more about it, and it's totally my jam, dude.
Show.
That's so my jam.
The ones I watched were The Simpsons and King of the Hill. Like I never was a huge Family Guy fan, and South Park you're a fan of for different reasons, but like they had American Dad, Family Guy, all those other shows come out, but King of the Hill, dude, I
know
it
King of
was
the Hill
such
was on
highbrow
Fox,
humor.
but I don't know if Fox owns it. They
I'm
must
looking it up right
own it
now.
because it is on Hulu still. You can watch all the seasons of King of the Hill on Hulu.
Trying to figure out who owns the IP.
Dude, I love King of the Hill, man. It's a show that I still watch regularly. Like you said, I used to be a big Family Guy fan, and I kind of feel like Family Guy got boring and repetitive, so I don't really watch Family Guy anymore. But I could still watch me some King of the Hill.
Oh, apparently the update is the characters are supposed to be aged.
Nice.
So it's not like Futurama where it's like the same design, they're the same age as they were forever ago, because that's coming out too on Hulu. But they're supposed to be aged, so Bobby's going to be like an adult.
Oh, nice. For King of the Hill?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's interesting.
Bobby Hill.
I just have seen like some of the quotes about something to the effect of, "Hey Dad, what do you do if your guests ask for their steak to be done well done?"
You politely ask
politely
them to leave.
But firmly to leave.
Yeah.
Propane.
And there's the meme of
is he against propane or is he pro?
No, he's a propane salesperson.
Yeah, he sells propane.
That's his whole job.
I don't agree with him on that. Propane is not how you grill. You use a fire.
It's just funny. He's always talking about propane over charcoal.
Clean quality propane.
Oh, but then he's using charcoal. That's okay. I need to watch the show.
Yeah, and then that's the meme of Bobby Hill getting from the episode where they come to Arizona, getting out of the truck, and like, who would live here? And oh god, it feels like I'm standing on the surface of the sun.
But they live in Texas, like Amarillo or something, which is
Arland. They live in Arland, Texas.
Arland, that's what it is. About as hot. Oh man, yeah, great show.
Yeah, super excited for the return of Bevis and Butt-Head.
Oh, Bevis.
Do the universe. Next up, early screenings and fan testing of The Flash have been pretty positive. So I don't know if that's going to get your hopes up or not, but early testing, despite
it doesn't get my hopes up, it doesn't get my hopes down. I feel like every time I see these early reactions, they're always positive.
To catch fish. That's right. When Hank uses crack to catch fish. Sorry, Max, what were you saying?
I was just saying every time I see, early reactions to a movie or
they're always misleading.
They're usually, they're misleading or they're typically positive. And so I am expecting the movie to be pretty good. I think it looks cool. I love that Michael Keaton's going to be Batman in it.
And Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah. It's got that multiverse aspect to it. I think that's cool. So I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, even though Ezra Miller's kind of a nut job.
Are we talking about the other piece of WB news? Did you guys see this? I'm not sure if it's on here.
What?
That the new heads at Warner Brothers Discovery are going to scrap all the woke Superman stuff and bring Henry Cavill back. You guys didn't see that? It was on comicbookmovie.com.
Yeah, I saw it, but I'm tired of talking about Henry Cavill Superman. We do it every week. So
sounds good. They never fired him to begin with, so bringing him back isn't really the right term. But yeah, we don't need to talk about it.
But spanning out of this came the news that there was a point in time that our savior, Marvel's Jesus himself, Kevin Feige, nearly left Marvel Studios to go work for WB to make DC movies.
So I saw this headline. At what point? Like, had he already started the MCU when he considered this, or was this pre-MCU?
It was early on in his career. Before Iron Man. He'd already made the Spider-Man movies, but he was butting heads with the head of Marvel Studios at the time,
Ike Perlmutter.
He was getting ready to jump ship and go to DC. So imagine how different the DCU would have been if Kevin Feige was.
Or imagine how different the MCU would be too. Like, would we have the MCU if that had happened? I don't know. I don't know exactly whose idea.
No, he already. This was around the time that Avengers was released. I'm reading the article right now.
Oh,
okay, he was talking to Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo says this: when we did the first Avengers, Kevin Feige told me, "Listen, I might not be here tomorrow." Ruffalo recalled, and he's like, "Ike does not believe that anyone will go to a female starring superhero movie. So if I am here tomorrow, you will know that I won that battle."
Well, I remember that.
It had to. Yeah,
the article I read earlier said that it was earlier on. It was like right after he was doing Spider-Man. He was trying to get the MCU off the ground, and they were disagreeing, and he was disagreeing with the people in charge. So he was going to dip, but they ended up working it out. So that's good. That a little bit of clarification, because I know they were talking about they even offered Todd Phillips to do the Joker an advisory role on future DC films. And that there's, we know that they're looking for that Kevin Feige-esque person, but
it needs to be a comic book fan. It needs to be like Kevin Feige's not a former writer. He's not a former artist or anything like that. He's just a straight, I love these characters and I want to see them done, injustice, right? So they need to find that person that's,
you want to see him
just
done injustice or justice.
But they need to find that fan, right? Somebody that understands the characters and it's not going to try to make it rather like like Zack Snyder tried to make it. He made all his movies look like Zack Snyder movies, where these need to be true depictions of the characters. And I think that's what Kevin Feige does well. A couple times he's misstepped, right? He's misstepped a couple times, but for the most part, everything has been a decent movie.
Stick says Flash movie gets okay reviews. In other news, Ezra Miller drank all the soda and ate all the popcorn in the theaters and went into a tirade about Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, needs to be a storyteller. Yeah, I agree. Sticks. No, no. I think it has to have somebody that has respect for the characters. I think is crucial because Kevin Feige does.
You have to be able to tell a good story though too.
Yes, I agree. I think a comic book fan, but also a storyteller. That's why I kind of got on board with your Kevin Smith idea.
Yeah, and again, still, I think as long as he's advisory and he's not directing, he'd do a bang up job.
Yeah. But a good storyteller and somebody that cares about, like, deeply cares about the characters.
But
because look at Jon Favreau with Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, he's starting to face a little backlash now too, though.
Who? Favreau?
Favreau, yeah.
What have I missed?
Because people are very we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
All right.
We'll go back to we'll get into it.
I want to hear
but
about this.
The positivity of the Flash is so well that they're apparently even going back and rewriting and reshooting parts of the Batgirl movie that's coming out to adjust to what happens in the Flash movie. And it was confirmed that Michael Keaton's Batman is also going to make an appearance in the Batgirl movie. So there you go. We're gonna get more.
So
Michael
is he
Keaton.
gonna be DC's Batman?
I think he's
man
gonna
Bruce?
be DC's old man Bruce Wayne. Yes, moving forward. Yes, which fingers
Thus
crossed.
Closing the door completely on Ben
Batman
Affleck.
Beyond.
Oh,
yeah, that'd be great.
That'd
But
be
closing
awesome.
the door completely on Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, but I was reading something that Discovery was attempting to change his mind.
No, I don't think. Dude, I think once the Batman came out and everyone was sold on Robert Pattinson, that closed the door on Batfleck. I think that closed the door on Affleck. They're going to move in a different direction, and they're going to ride the Robert Pattinson train till the wheels fall off. So, I think
the wheels will most surely fall off.
Ben Affleck's time as Batman after the Flash movie is probably done. He's more worried about getting married to J-Lo and doing all that shit. So
they just bought a $60 million mansion.
He's gonna need that work then. He needs to be he needs that Batman money.
Hey, she's Jenny on the block, dude. She's got money.
I thought I had read they wanted to offer him like $30 million or something like that. Which I don't even know if that's a lot for these actors. It's a lot.
They're gonna scrap that universe, they need to just scrap everybody and move on. Quit, Aquaman.
But I like Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
well,
but
with the Amber Heard thing,
there's talk of Momoa coming to Marvel now, so who knows what's going to happen? But
he would have been an awesome Kraven the Hunter.
yes, he would have.
He would.
Oh, that
They're
would
gonna
be
make
a
him
beautiful
Namor?
casting.
No, they're not going to make him Namor.
He'd be the water guy in both universes.
Did you guys hear that Amber Heard might only be in 10 minutes of this new movie?
Yeah,
I had
I've
heard
been
that
saying
that's-
that for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, now they're cutting it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
moving on here, we're getting some Harley Quinn books coming here. Harley Quinn is going to be invading classic covers here for the next couple of months. The latest issue of Harley Quinn, starting at issue 18, they're going to do homage covers. So you have like the homage to Batman #1. You have the number 19 is going to be this other Batman cover. Then you have 20 as the homage to the first appearance of Batgirl. Trying to think of what 19 is. I think that's the first appearance of Robin. But
Yeah, it says the Girl Wonder, so it's probably
Yeah.
Robin.
So then you got the 20 is the first appearance of Batgirl. Then you
Why is she on roller skates in that one?
Because Harley's always on roller skates.
Yeah, man. Why
She
not?
She is?
Yeah.
She's a roller derby girl.
I don't care what anybody says. That Jester outfit is
Namor does not #have sex with fish.
I think he does.
that Jester outfit is one of my favorites, man.
But then you got 21 is the one I want, which is the homage of the Killing Joke,
Oh, that's cool.
where
I
instead
like
of the
that.
Joker on the cover, it's Harley with the camera. And then the Harley Quinn annual is the Hush cover, the Jim Lee Hush cover, where she's standing there with Batman on the gargoyle head.
That's awesome.
So those are all going to be coming out soon. Super dope books to be looking out for these Harley Quinn. I don't know why they're doing it, but homage covers.
Is it
I
like
guess.
an anniversary of Harley Quinn or something?
I don't think so. They're just homage covers. But
It's just the cover, right? It's not like they're doing a whole
it's
book.
just the cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the variant covers to the book.
That would have been awesome. Like, you see how it has the speech bubble on the Killing Joke one?
Where it
would've
says
said
smile.
If it would
Smile
have said
pudding.
smile pudding. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what up, Ish? Welcome in.
Welcome.
What up,
Ish.
buddy? What's next?
So
I like these.
Oh, so it's to commemorate Harley Quinn becoming a weekly series. So whoop-de-doo. But yeah, I want that 21 issue. I want that 21 cover, the Killing Joke. And that cover looks sweet.
When does the animated series come back?
I have no idea. I
That
don't even know
show's
if it is
awesome.
coming back.
That show is awesome.
All right, let's get into Kenobi. A review of episode 3 of Kenobi.
I feel like my opinion of the show is completely different than everybody else's.
I don't
I've
know.
been enjoying it. I'm not a
I
Star
love
Wars
it.
fan. I think it's awesome, man. I love
I
the
do
Leia
too.
stuff.
I think Leia's not. I don't mind Leia. I've seen a lot of people that are like, she is the greatest, and I'm just like, she's good.
Ish said
I like
Obi-Wan
her.
sucks balls.
Yeah, Ish doesn't like
With
it,
a
and he can
Z.
take that negativity elsewhere.
Balls with a Z.
Okay.
I love it, man. Like I think I look forward to it. I was a little annoyed that I didn't realize it was coming out on Wednesday. I thought they were coming out on Fridays. So I didn't watch it as soon as I could. I love the show, man. And Moses Isham, is that her
Ingram?
name?
Moses Ingram.
Ingram.
I
Where did I
think.
get that?
I might be
name from?
mispronouncing it wrong. I thought it was Moses Ingram.
She's getting a lot of hate, and I think she's good.
I think she's terrible. She's got no emotion. She shows zero emotion.
Yeah, I don't
She's
think
better
her,
than some of the other Inquisitors. Like, I feel like
She's better than the guy who plays Han. I didn't even realize that was the same actor, but the fifth brother is the guy who plays Han. He doesn't do a very good job.
Little Leia needs to be
Plays
football
Han?
punted into the next galaxy. That storyline is.
who's the same actor
Well, maybe
awesome.
I'm wrong. I saw
from
something
Doctor
earlier.
Strange?
No, Han from Fast and Furious.
No, it's not Han.
No,
from
it's
Fast
not
and
him.
Furious.
Okay,
Jeez,
why did
man, not
someone
all
say
Asian
that
people
then?
look the same.
Well, no, someone said it was him.
It's not.
No, it is.
No, it's not, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't think
No,
it
it's
was.
not.
yeah. It's the guy who plays Han. He is playing the fifth brother, and I
And he
feel like
plays
he
it good
goes.
because it does not. It is him. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Because it does not come across as him. I thought
I
it was
didn't
somebody
realize it was
else.
him, so I guess that's good. The makeup work is good,
Yeah.
but I feel like just the way that the character is portrayed is not great. He just feels really whiny, and I remember him from Rebels just being really stoic. He doesn't talk much.
He's
So I'm
always
not
talking with
loving him.
clenched teeth. It's
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Anyway, I don't think Moses Ingram is bad. I don't think that she's incredible. I don't, but I don't know. I don't mind her as a character. I think anyone who's, hating on her purely out of racism obviously is deplorable and like that's awful. But if you don't like her as an actress, that's fine. Like you don't have to like everyone's performance.
Well, I
If the reason
understand,
for
like,
disliking it is a
Sticks
race
is
thing,
saying that she's playing the character like she's directed to. I understand that, and I'm not playing it like it has nothing to do with her race to me. It's just like I feel like she's got no emotion behind it. Like it's coming. Her character comes across like she's got this history with Obi-Wan. There's this history there. There's something there that is driving her for this, but it feels like she's got no emotion behind it.
I feel like her driving purpose is to be the Grand Inquisitor.
And like I like the first 2 episodes, but there's a big continuity issue for me here. And that's kind of why I'm glad Max is here tonight, because I want to talk about it. Okay. You don't think Obi-Wan Kenobi, this series, creates a massive continuity issue moving forward?
what do you think it creates?
So in A New Hope, Leia doesn't know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. So there's no hope. Hey, remember when we were gallivanting across the universe and you were saving me from a kidnapper? Oh, I need you to help me again. So is it that she just never knows him as anything more than Ben?
Well, no, she knows he's Obi-Wan already in the show.
No, but she always calls him Ben.
Yeah,
she does, but she's heard him
refers to himself as Ben.
Yeah, but she's heard him called Obi-Wan already.
So
I don't think it creates that
big of an
issue.
Created?
I don't think so.
I didn't realize that Leia didn't know who Obi-Wan was in A New Hope.
Yeah, she had no idea.
It's vague. There's a lot of things that are vague, and I'm going to use a Star Wars, trope here. From a certain point of view, it creates a continuity error. From a certain point of view, it doesn't, and from my point of view, it doesn't.
So where I was coming at with the Favreau stuff,
I want to hear,
is he's getting a lot of flack within the Star Wars community now for basically shitting on legacy characters. And like people feel like he shit on Boba Fett. You have a show called Boba Fett, and he basically the best episodes were with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, Boba Fett wasn't done well. I agree with that.
Even with Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's like they're shitting on legacy characters. This episode in particular, for a lot of people going up on arms about, because you have the final confrontation. Not final, but you have the big confrontation, the re-meeting of him and Vader. And Vader just stomps his ass out.
I love that.
And you have Obi-Wan saying, "Oh, well, I don't remember how to use the Force. I haven't used the Force in years." He's always been Force attuned. He was Force attuned in A New Hope, and none of the books or any of the legacy stuff does Obi-Wan get fucking romper stomped by Vader. So and then Vader lights the ground on fire, throws Obi-Wan in it, and then puts the fire out himself. Like,
I thought that was awesome. I thought that made a lot of sense.
I hear a lot of Star Wars fans saying that Favreau is shitting on these legacy characters, and he's catching flack for it now, to where maybe he's not the savior that everyone thought he was going to be.
See, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I've been loving every second of it.
And I am a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm still loving it all. So I want to address some things Ish is saying in the comments. I'll address the shorter one first. The Grand Inquisitor dies in Rebels, so another huge continuity error. The guy ain't dead. He's not dead. The show's not over.
I don't think he's dead in this either. It's very vague the way they did it.
He's definitely not
dead either.
Well, it's episode 3 makes it seem like they believe he's dead.
Right.
not.
And Vader,
He's
because
not.
Vader offers the third sister, saying if you bring me Obi-Wan, I'll make you a Grand Inquisitor. But
Oh, he's manipulating her.
yeah, he's very good
I
at that. He
think-
does that all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because
I think Vader already knows the Inquisitor's alive.
Han thinks he's also going to be Grand Inquisitor. He thinks that's promised to him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the Grand Inquisitor's not dead, so that's not a continuity error. So that's the second thing I'm going to address. So Ish says Leia only knew of General Kenobi from stories that Bail Organa told her. Now all of a sudden, turns out they were best friends all along and had all these adventures together. And then what? She forgot. You're assuming things. It never says that she didn't know Obi-Wan Kenobi. I understand like how you draw that conclusion based on the hologram. And it's not even necessarily a wrong conclusion for you to draw, but it never says that she didn't know who he was. In fact, I actually really like the fact that she does know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is, because now I'm not so annoyed that she named her kid Ben later on. Because that was one thing that always bugged me about the sequels. I'm like, why would she name her kid Ben? Ben is... She didn't even have a relationship with Obi-Wan. But now, well, Ben Kenobi saved her, so she named her kid Ben. I think that makes a lot of sense. I get where people are coming from.
She says in the movies that she's only heard of him from stories.
I'm going to have to go back and watch. I don't know if that's true. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's some continuity errors here, and I'm just not caring because I'm enjoying seeing Star Wars.
She says you heard all about Ben from her dad's stories. So now your mom is jumping on the train.
Well, I know your mom and Ish both don't like this show, so they're definitely they're gonna band against me on this one. I love it. I think it was super poetic that Vader threw Obi-Wan in the fire and then put it out, because his intention was to prolong his pain. Like, he didn't want to end it. He wants to make the man suffer. The only thing I had an issue with was, clearly Vader is very powerful. We know that. So he lights that stuff on fire. He puts Obi-Wan in the fire, puts it out. And then all of a sudden there's this bigger fire in front of him and he just lets Obi-Wan get away. I thought that was a little weird. I'm like, he very easily could have pushed the fire away or jumped over it with his force powers. So I thought that was weird. So I'll
Your mom says, I love Obi-Wan. Don't throw me on that train.
Oh, I thought I had seen I didn't mean the character, I mean the show. So if you love the character, that's one thing. I thought I saw you in the comments on Facebook that you hated the show, but maybe I'm wrong. I may have misremembered it.
I like the nod to Quinlan Voss on the wall.
Loved that.
But again, I don't like the way that all of a sudden the Inquisitor was like, hey, I know where this hidden passage is. Or the third sister's like, I know where this hidden passage is. Oh, look, little Leia. And then like Vader just all of a sudden like seeks out Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan didn't even stand a chance. He's a Jedi master, for God's sakes. And he's acting like a little bitch.
Yeah.
He cut himself off from the Force, man. He hasn't trained in 10 years.
But he's never done that in any of the legacy stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is like they're shitting on these legacy characters.
Oh, man, I think what they're doing makes so much sense. Dude, what he saw, what he went through in war, like, you're seeing like something realistic.
But PTSD. He's whining about how he needs to train Luke. He's sitting here talking to Uncle Ben in episode 2 about how he needs to train Luke, how the boy needs to start his training. And then he's sitting here whining about how he's not a Jedi anymore, how he hasn't used the Force, how he can't do any of this stuff to protect life. How the hell are you going to train Luke Skywalker to be the Jedi of legend if you're not going to use it to save Leia? Like,
it's a journey, man.
Add up, man.
It's a journey, because in Rebels, eventually he faces off against Maul and demolishes him. So like this would be
after Rebels.
No, this is before Rebels.
No, this stuff is after Rebels.
No, this is before Rebels.
Are you sure? Yeah,
this is 5 years.
Yeah, we
before
verified
Rebels.
this last week.
This is 5 years before Rebels. So he still has 5 years to like become the Jedi Master we know from A New Hope. Well, he has 9 years to become that, but
I understand, Sticks, that he's hiding out and using the Force to give himself away. But to bitch and say, I cut myself off, just the fact that he got bitched out by Vader like that, like one-handed, Vader's sitting here whomping his ass with a lightsaber, one-handed, and Obi's got him both on there trying to block his shots, and Vader's just stomping that ass, man. Like, where is it? You put up some, okay, you're hiding the Force so you don't get found. That's fine. But at some point, you got to use your greatest weapon, and you're just going to let Vader stomp that ass out?
It's a journey, and I think Obi-Wan is
It's a
going
6-episode journey.
Yeah,
I mean,
or more. Now
well,
there's talk
yes,
of season
but-
2.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
if they didn't
I'm
think they were
looking-
going to get a season 2,
I'm
then
looking
hopefully-
everywhere online, and I'm seeing that this show fixed the plot hole. Like, it was a plot hole before about Leia and Obi-Wan not knowing
No, it
each
doesn't
other.
fix anything.
That the article I'm reading has said a long question has been, how did Leia Organa know Ben Kenobi if the Jedi Master spent the last 2 decades in hiding on Tatooine to watch over Luke? It says when Leia sends a message to R2-D2 pleading for Obi-Wan Kenobi's help in the rebellion, it left fans wondering how. Yeah,
Well, I'm
But she's doing
say
it
I
because
disagree.
She's
Because-
hearing her father's story of the
Exactly.
great General Kenobi.
but
the
it
great
never
Obi-Wan
says
Kenobi.
that.
In the movie, it does. She says, "You served my father well in the Clone Wars," and so like that. In my mind, that wasn't a plot hole before. But I also don't think that this is a problem. So
Yeah.
I think it was fine before. I think it's fine now. It's just like people are getting mad about how Vader says like when he feels Obi-Wan's presence on the Death Star in A New Hope's like, that's a presence I haven't felt since. Well, he doesn't say since when. And then at one point he says, when last we met, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master. Well, if this is their last encounter, then yes, there's a plot hole from episode 3. I mean, because clearly Vader's not the learner here. Vader destroyed Obi-Wan. And that's why I think there's going to be at least one more confrontation where Vader is still
Well, I'm
kind
sure
of the
they are,
learner.
but it's like Vader gets his respirator, and all of a sudden he's just gonna romper stomp fucking Obi-Wan's ass. Like, it just, I don't know. And
I think
and-
Obi-Wan
and-
is still weak, though.
That's
and
what
apparently
I think too.
there is a lack of confidence. You clearly see there's a lack of confidence.
He's got
in
performance
Obi-Wan because
issues.
he constantly is trying to turn to Qui-Gon Jinn and for leadership. And I
Yep.
wouldn't be fucking surprised if in one of these episodes he shows up.
Oh, he definitely
Hey,
is. If
remember
Liam Neeson doesn't show up, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed.
Right?
You remember when we were saying how Top Gun, like a lot of it, is ripped off from Star Wars? Max?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Every time Tom Cruise is trying to talk to Goose.
Yeah, it's similar. It totally is.
The more and more I think about Top Gun, the more and more I am drawing comparisons to Star Wars.
Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me,
It's
Goose.
just- the whole premise of this is that him and Leia, like, I liked the Leia stuff in the first 2 episodes. I was kind of hoping that by this episode it was going to be done, but it wasn't.
No, I think it's the whole. I think
they're
it's
Yeah, I
the
still
whole
think it might be the whole
continuing
season.
on, and you now have the third sister and Vader hunting Obi-Wan, and they have the confrontation, and it's just like, I don't know. I just, something about Vader burning Obi-Wan, then putting out the fire himself, and that whole scene, and just kind of just how they made Obi-Wan this like a little bitch, for better or worse.
I think this is the
just
Logan
drive
effect.
me nuts.
And I think that, yeah, right now he's torn down. He's weak. He's not the Obi-Wan we knew. And if he doesn't get back to form, I'm going to be disappointed too. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm giving it some wiggle room here because we're in the middle.
We got
of
what,
the
3 episodes left?
Your mom
Yeah.
says Bail Organa knew where Obi-Wan was the entire time. It makes sense that Leia would know where to find him. Yes. But now it just makes that error of, hey, remember when we went joyriding around the galaxy?
Well,
You
at least
got to remember these
Leia-
movies are 40 years apart.
yeah, and none of this
Doesn't
stuff
matter,
was
but-
thought about.
That's, the fan base is so diehard.
You need to get over it.
But
Yeah, dude,
they're not going to. You're
I
not going
hate
to.
the Star Wars fan base.
This
so
is the
much.
whole conversation we had where you guys were banding against me because I don't like Civil War.
We were.
No, not you, Max, at Comic-Con.
Oh.
Matt, Jay, and Corbin. I don't like
I
Civil
wasn't
War.
saying a word. That was a conversation between you and Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin
and I
loves
weren't in
Civil
that
War.
conversation
I don't
at
like
all.
Civil War. I don't remember. All I know is that I felt alone on an island, saying that I don't like Civil War.
All
Because
Corbin did was argue with you why it was better than the comics. You argued your point. Jay and I just sat there and made jokes, and
But
then,
it's the same thing. Like, I need to get over it. Like, they're trying
and
to
then the
make
fishy
movies, they're trying
woman
to make
walked past, and then it turned into a conversation about pronouns, and it
the
just
woman.
went all over the place. But
Oh, dude.
yeah,
A smell that I hope to never smell ever again.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying Obi-Wan for what it is, but I just feel like it's, and I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan, and I just feel like it's creating plot holes down the line, and I can see why people are saying Favreau and Filoni are shitting on the fan base and shitting on legacy characters, and because of the way they did Boba Fett dirty, and now the way they're doing Obi-Wan.
No, Boba Fett was bad. That was a bad show. Like,
yes,
I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. It was bad, but I really like this one.
I love
take
this
him.
one.
Before we move on, I want to take time to shout out the chat and thank everyone for being here. Stick Boys, Aaron, Stumbling Jedi, Ish, your mom, Zaggy, Kyle, everyone. Thank you for checking us out, being here tonight. We appreciate you guys as always in the chat, making things more entertaining. Give us your opinion. If you're new to the podcast and you're just finding this, or you're listening to this in the playback, that's what we're all about. We're all about the community, and we're all about growing. We encourage you to watch us live and join in the chat, or leave us comments below, and to keep the conversation going well after the podcast has ended.
Yeah,
we're good with that. So I feel that we good with Obi-Wan.
I want to share one little thought before we move on, and it's just that I think that before the season is over, that the third sister is going to be killed by Vader. I don't think Obi-Wan's even going to be the one to kill her. I think Vader's going to kill her himself.
Yeah, she's going to like let Obi-Wan go or something like that. And
no, I think
or she's going to make a mistake that gets him away.
Yeah, the Grand Inquisitor is alive. I think he and Vader are probably already communicating.
I think the Grand Inquisitor is going to be the one that kills her.
I could see that too. Fair enough. But I don't think it's going to be Obi-Wan. I think it's going to be one of the fellow, dark side users. But yeah, anyway, we're good to move on. I just wanted to make that prediction.
Zaggy says, well, they all die, so ...
Well, yeah, true. But I mean, within the show, within this season.
What's next?
But yeah, like we were just talking about, season 2 in the works for Obi-Wan Kenobi, just based off of the buzz and the popularity of the first 2 episodes. They're already working on and get the planning stages for season 2. No, it doesn't say it's going to be a direct continuation. It doesn't say that it's going to pick up later on. I would personally like it to see it tie into the Ahsoka stuff and all that announcement we got at Celebration. But we'll have to see what happens with Obi-Wan season 2 moving forward.
I'm down, dude. Ewan McGregor. I love him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought this was intended to be a limited series, and this was all
he says. He says he's had so much fun filming this that I was reading a quote by him the other day. He had so much fun filming this show that this was before season 2. The rumor was that a season 2 was coming, but he said he would have no problem doing more. And now his wife just got cast in Star Wars. I don't know
really?
For what. Yeah,
that's cool. His daughter was in the second episode. The one trying to sell him drugs.
Do you know that Frick or whatever his name is? Do you know that Zach Braff?
Yeah, I did hear that. Doesn't sound like him.
Yeah.
The
Stick Boy says no season 2. My rumor mill says a split season 1. 6 episodes now, 4 later.
Doing the old Stranger Things thing, huh?
I don't know about that. Oh, I'm sorry. I do have one more thing I want to say really quick. I'm sorry. I know I'm such a Star Wars fan. Vader's voice sounded perfect. And I know there's
James Earl Jones.
So yes and no. There's some controversy around it, but it sounded great, and I was really happy because in Rogue One, it just didn't sound quite right, and it was James Earl Jones, like he did it, which is great. They credited James Earl Jones, but my understanding is in the episode it was actually like AI that they used, similar to how they've made Luke's voice in the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian and stuff.
On Top Gun, they did Val Kilmer's voice that way.
Yeah, so my understanding is it was like AI, but it sounded perfect. I just loved it.
Simba.
I mean, James Earl Jones is like 91 years old. His voice sounds different, and that's okay. Like, it's fine.
Disney was smart. They would just have James Earl Jones record every word in a dictionary and just use that as like a data bank for any time they want to do it. Because
every
the minute Yeah, the minute his voice changes, if he dies, and the minute his voice changes, people are gonna be pissed. It's like, hey guys, it's Darth Vader.
I don't think it'll ever be that. They have ways to recreate that.
That's what I'm
voice.
saying.
Or
I don't
get
think
the progressive guy, or is
well,
it
that's
the
what I'm
progressive
saying
I'll say?
already. I don't think that James Earl Jones actually voiced any lines for the show. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm pretty sure it's just AI that they use to reconstruct his voice.
No, I'm pretty sure he did.
I don't know. I heard that he didn't. Anyway, let's move on. I think what we're going to talk about next is Amber Turd and Johnny Depp.
Yep. Fresh
haven't
off
talked
his
about
legal win against his ex-wife Amber Turd, aka Amber Heard, in his defamation lawsuit. I wouldn't even say it was a win because they both kind of were found guilty of defamation. But he came out looking a little bit better, or did he? As their producers and rumblings through Hollywood, they're saying that regardless of the outcome of this trial and the fact that Johnny Depp is seen as the winner, an anonymous producer has previously collaborated with Depp, stated that the Pirates of the Caribbean star isn't guaranteed to return to the spotlight despite the favorable outcome in his $50 million defamation trial. The damage that's done is done. And from this, it might start a process back to some sort of normalcy, but I don't think he's going to be the big studio jobs he was getting before. There's so much on the line, the producer says. So, just because he won and cleared his name doesn't mean that.
Do the big studios want the press associated with him or Amber at this point?
I don't know.
They do.
He has a lot of Hollywood supporting him. Like if you go on Twitter and look up Johnny Depp, like all these big names, actors, actresses, and directors and stuff
of defecation.
There's a lot of Hollywood is supporting him, which is surprising because when allegations are made like this, Hollywood's usually the first to turn their back. You know what I mean? But he's been supported by his peers.
I know Robert
throughout this whole thing
is one person that's supporting him.
Vision. What's his name? Paul Bettany.
I just don't think that. I think this was a natural progression of things because Johnny Depp seems to have lost a step where his movies haven't been that good anymore in a while. And
Black Mass was the last one that I remember I really enjoyed.
This is like that natural progression to where he's not that big name really anymore. And so why would you put him in big blockbuster stuff?
I don't remember the last time he had a big blockbuster like Fantastic Beasts, but he's barely even in the second one, right?
Yeah, and then
he was in the second one a ton.
Was he in it a ton?
Because of all the Amber Heard stuff, and he got Me Too'd. And I mean, what this trial did is it went a long way to show you that the court of public opinion shouldn't fucking matter. That it's innocent and proven guilty, even and it should be that way, even the court of public opinion, but whatever. But I can see where they're saying that they don't want the headache. They don't want the negative press that's going to come from this. They don't want the backlash that's going to come from this. It's all just really murky, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I think with the availability of social media and how blown up this thing got, and like how much dirty laundry was aired between these two in their private relationship, that
dirty bed sheets.
That's gonna hurt both of them in the long run way more than their image is done. Their image is tarnished. There's nothing they can do to get that image back. Like all of that is out here now.
Apparently, he's been cast in Beetlejuice 2 3 days ago.
Yeah, we'll see. Like that's ever gonna come out. I don't believe that at all. Because
I hope so, because I've been since day one. Like I'm like, really? Like it's been a struggle to believe Amber Heard at all throughout this whole thing. And I think he was done dirty. Like there's other ones like Harvey Weinstein, when like he had so many people come out and say, like people that he's dated say he was nothing but an angel. Like
Zaggy, I'm really starting to worry about you, bro. Apparently Zaggy's fetish is people pooping in his bed, so there you go.
Who was Kate Moss, wasn't it? She came and testified at the trial. They dated for like 3 years. She said he was nothing but an angel. Like, he never pushed me. Like, that. All of his former romantic relationships have come out and supported him. And that's been going on for the last 3 years. You know, they've come out and supported him. You never heard anyone really say a bad thing about him. But yet Amber Heard said he abused me. And then with all the voice recordings of Amber Heard saying no one's going to believe you and all this stuff, it seemed like a hit job.
Yeah, her defense team did not do a good job.
Which makes me wonder how come why didn't he win in Britain?
Well,
if all these things existed, why didn't he win in Britain?
It.
She beat him in Britain.
Well, I just think it's UK.
Different legal team, maybe social media pressure, honestly.
But there was like some hard evidence there that shows that she's lying.
Your mom says Kate Moss was a crazy heroin addict. Super credible.
I don't know. I think in this day and age, if a man beat on you,
signed NDA.
I think if a man beat on you in this day and age, they're gonna voice it. They're not gonna come out and defend them.
Wait, who? Oh, okay. I was gonna be like, in this day and age, if a man beat on you, they're gonna voice it. So like, I just beat her ass.
No.
I just stomped her ass out.
They're
I just
victims
punched,
or whatever.
I just punched my wife in the fucking eye.
Like, women are more empowered now than ever to come out and voice these things that they've experienced. You know, like in this day and age, like, you are supported if these things happen to you. Like, you are supported to use your voice, and to have so many people come out and say no, he was great. It's just,
I'm not getting into the semantics of the trial because it was long, it was drawn out. You learned fucking private shit about both of them. Some lady farted in the middle of her testimony. You learn that she likes to take shits on pillows, and she severed his finger. There's just so much you learn through this. But my whole thing about putting this in here is like, do you think this trial, since he was found since it was ruled in favor in the court of law, should impact him from getting big roles in the future in Hollywood? Should it impact his career in Hollywood whatsoever?
I think it will impact it, but no. I think he's a great actor. He just hasn't picked good projects as of late. But
yeah, I think he's a good actor too, and I said earlier, I think it will impact his career. So I think big studios may not want to be associated with the press that just comes along with this, even though he won. Like,
I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow. I think maybe it could eventually happen, but we'll see. I mean, they're still airing his cologne commercials.
It says he wants to sue Johnny Depp for the movie Mordecai. I love it.
That's a bad one. And Dark Shadows, that was another bad one.
Stick said the judge in Britain went too far off what he was there to do. They were there to try a newspaper and heard on defamation of character and slander. The judge went further by saying, I'm sure there's going to be more to that. ... Leaving us in suspense. Leave us wanting more. By saying what they said was true and ruled that way.
Wow, you guys are right. I'm looking at his latest movies. Johnny Depp has not done really anything in a while.
Well, he's been boycotted.
Well, that too, but I mean, Fantastic Beasts, I mean, I know it didn't do well, but that was a big movie. Obviously, in 2017, he did a Pirates movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales. So that's big. But I'm like looking through a lot of these other ones. Sherlock Gnomes. I mean, I haven't even heard of most of these.
I think Sherlock Gnomes was like I don't think he was the main. Yeah. Oh,
he
by
played
the way,
Donald Trump in a movie? I didn't even realize that.
It was a Funny or Die thing. It was The Art of the Deal, I think it was called.
Yeah.
By the way, so Ewan McGregor's married to Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who has been cast in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he was married to her.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad she was.
I've had a crush on her for as long as I can remember.
She was cast in Ahsoka? I wonder who she's.
It doesn't say who she's playing.
Well, because I know that Ahsoka's going to have like the cast of Rebels in it. Could she be Hera?
Some of them. I know Sabine has already been cast.
Yeah, Sabine's been cast, and they haven't said Ezra or Hera. I don't know if
Well, I don't know if
that.
Ezra's going to be in it or not because
There's 3. I'm looking at the
right.
IMDb for Ahsoka, and there's 3 people on here: Ray Stevenson, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Ivana Sakano or Sukno. I don't know how you say that. They don't have casting credits; they're just listed as in the movie. But Sabine, Anakin, and Ahsoka are all listed.
Anakin in flashbacks, probably.
Yeah, it says Hayden Christensen as Anakin,
or he's going to be there as Vader.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, what's next?
I'm laughing at Zaggy. Next up, Fantastic Four rumors. Marvel is looking at Sam Raimi to direct Fantastic Four.
I love Sam Raimi as much as the next guy. No, I don't want this. Like, I loved what Sam Raimi did with Doctor Strange. I know you guys aren't huge fans of it. I loved that because it was in that horror element. I don't want Sam Raimi for Fantastic Four. We've already got campy Fantastic Four. We don't need more campy Fantastic Four. I want a sci-fi, like Christopher Nolan Interstellar type Fantastic Four. That's what I want.
But yeah, it says that after John Watts' departure, Kevin Feige is taking his time and choosing a director. As he's quoted as saying he wants a director of Sam Raimi proportions, if not Sam Raimi himself.
I agree with getting a big name director. That would be huge. But call Christopher Nolan. I think he'd make a fucking awesome Fantastic Four movie.
No, thank you.
You don't think he would?
No, thank you.
Yeah,
why not?
That I would want Christopher Nolan doing that.
Just let John Krasinski fucking direct it.
That's what I want. I just want John Krasinski to do it too.
I don't know what's going on with him because he gave up Quiet Place 3. He's not directing that one. He's not directing the spinoff for Quiet Place. Like, what's he doing?
He's got Marvel money, bro. He's gonna make those Marvel movies. That's what's gonna happen. He's playing Reed Richards now, bro. He don't need that Quiet Place money. He's got Marvel money coming in.
I mean, he's writing the new. I think he wrote the new.
He probably wrote it the same time he wrote 2. That mouse showed up, said, "Oh, 1, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million." Oh.
Did you know John Krasinski's in Free Guy as a voice?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I just read that on his IMDb.
No, I didn't know that.
And he's also the voice of Superman in DC League of Superhero Pets, or whatever it's called.
That's cool.
It's interesting. No, I want
friendly
a sci-fi
gesture.
I want a sci-fi director, not a horror director. Like
Ridley Scott.
I love Sam Raimi, but
I mean, if they're looking for a big name, I guess Ridley Scott. That's a big name in sci-fi.
I don't think Ridley Scott would ever do a
Marvel movie.
I think he's come out and said. I think he's on the
James Cameron.
Martin Scorsese sides of that. I bet you James Cameron would if he did, but then he'd make it this big grand.
Edgar Wright wouldn't be bad.
Edgar Wright's relationship with Marvel soured over Ant-Man. I don't know if that'll ever happen.
That's true. I forgot about Ant-Man.
Steven Spielbergers.
Aaron.
Aaron wants us to put an attractive man on the screen. You know what? Here, let's go to solo mode for me. If you want to see an attractive man on the screen.
There, I'll put an attractive man on the screen.
There you go. There you go.
Did you just say to yourself?
I did.
Stick Boy says money makes the bad things go away. That's true.
It's true.
We were talking about it a little bit before. I don't think we're reviewing it, but Top Gun Maverick had a $160.5 million opening weekend. It scored the biggest opening of Tom Cruise's career and the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever.
It was so fucking good.
And
it was great.
97% fresh rating from critics and a 99% audience score.
I thought this movie was going to suck. I had no interest in it. I think I said on the show several times that I don't plan to see it. Well, I changed my mind and went and saw it on Thursday. It was great. It was super good.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was basically A New Hope, but with, modern day planes. It was Maverick versus the Death Star, and it was great.
I loved it so much. It sticks. I was dissatisfied that the Kenobi didn't kill anyone in this movie, right? But I was excited that it actually had a purpose. The first one is just nostalgic fun, and they're going through the Top Gun school. But now it's actually nice to see that they had an actual mission. You got to see the mission play out,
even if it was
movie
just
was a mission.
blowing up the Death Star.
It was, yeah. I mean,
It was exactly like blowing up the Death Star.
It was.
because you're gonna shoot a hole.
It was a 3
Even
meter
from
wide
flying through
target.
the cavern.
Everything about it was very Star Warsy. But you know what? That's fine. Whatever. I thought it was great. It was clear to me that the writers were Star Wars fans. I thought that was fun.
I enjoyed it. I walked out with a big old smile on my face. I felt like throughout when this movie was announced, I said, why did we not learn anything from all these bad reboot sequels? And so far, the last couple that I've seen, the Ghostbusters sequel was really good. This one was really good. What's another one that's come out way after the fact?
Erin says that she thought they did an excellent job casting Miles Teller as
He
Goose's
looks
son,
identical
Victor.
to him.
He does
Yes, he
look a
does.
lot like him. He does.
Yeah, it was so good.
If you're looking for other reboots, I mean, Jurassic World, let's not talk about the last one because that sucked.
Dominion.
But the first one was pretty good. Like, that was a decent,
Not like this,
continuation.
though. Not like this. Like,
Aaron says
no,
Lance likes
no.
everything.
oh, fuck. Aaron? I don't know.
He didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. He didn't like that one.
Nope.
That's for sure.
Shit on that hardcore. It was bad.
But yeah,
That
Top
movie
Gun.
was a spit in the face.
Top Gun Maverick, man. I can't say
It's
enough
so
about
good,
this
dude.
movie.
Hey, can I make a recommendation for a Fantastic Four director?
Sure.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I could see it. I like her Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
But,
She'd be great.
Zaggy says we can't compare to everything. I want to know what you're talking about. What are we comparing?
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we compared Top Gun to Star Wars.
Oh,
It is true, though. He's trying to channel the Force spirit of Goose the whole time. and then they're flying through a cavern and they got to shoot a missile in a tiny little 3 mil, like it's the Death Star. I didn't realize it until I stood up and Max said that. I was like, holy shit, I just watched A New Hope. I watched the last 10 minutes of A New Hope. In
Maverick is all the
movie.
hope you need.
Yeah,
Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. By the way, so our movie started with an opening from Tom Cruise saying thank you for being there and stuff.
So did mine.
And he looked so old. And then in
Yeah.
the movie, he looks about 20 years younger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did
they
anybody
filmed
notice
this
that?
probably in like 2000.
Well, yeah,
But they
this
filmed
movie,
it a long time ago.
You gotta
got
think this
delayed.
movie was filmed 2 years ago and kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed because of COVID.
I think it was filmed like 4 years ago.
so.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was filmed.
All I
like,
know is
end of
Miles Teller got
2018.
ripped.
He did, but like it was supposed to release in 2020 and pushed and pushed and pushed. That's part of the reason I didn't want to see it. I was like, I've seen trailers for this for like 3 years. I'm done. And
It was well
great.
worth the wait, man.
It was good. Well, should we talk about something diabolical?
Let's talk about The Boys. First 3 episodes of The Boys dropped early.
We're spoiling,
yesterday.
right?
Oh yeah, you can spoil.
All right.
If you haven't seen The Boys yet, thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next week because we're gonna spoil the shit out of this. So yeah, spoilers.
Yeah, I'll make a tag for it really quick. Oh, you got
Actually,
it?
I need to edit that.
Here, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so spoiler warning. Let's just get this out of the way. Guy enters a man's penis, literally shrinks himself down, enters into a penis, sneezes him to death. That was crazy. That was a crazy way to start the first 10 minutes.
Dude, I love the way you did that. Was crazy. Bro.
Basically took the
"What?"
Ant-Man theory from Endgame and
Yeah.
made it
instead of
even
going
more
through the
gross.
butthole. Yeah, they're showing us like the entryway to the penis. I was like, what the?
And he's like in there, he's like, He's tickling the urethra
Oh.
or whatever. It was so funny, dude.
Go to
It
the
was
prostate.
So gross.
Go to the prostate. Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Let's
man.
just put like this is the first time Aaron's watched anything of The Boys. It was that episode, and she was like,
So that's
"What
like your
the
mom
hell
walks
is
in at the
this?"
worst part.
Yeah.
When you're a kid.
Yeah. But
I
dude, like,
couldn't imagine anything getting more gross than the exploding whale or A-Train vaporizing that girl, Huey's girlfriend.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like
like the
first
first
episode.
episode.
There's been some gross scenes. This takes the cake. I mean, last season had a guy with an expanding penis that he was using to strangle people.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
this
mean, if
is the grossest thing I've seen.
listen, if you've been a fan of this podcast for the 8 years, 9 years I've been doing it, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is now, you know that I'm a crude person and I find crude things funny, and I have no problem talking about wangs, bat wangs, and all that. And like, this is the first time I was watching. I was like, I think they went a little too far, man. And only
I do.
only because the fact that they showed it from his point of view being so small, and the dick is just on the table, just massive. You just see the massive head of this dude's wiener and him like crawling in. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck is going on right now? It was almost uncomfortable to watch with my own
extremely-
They should have
fiance
had him
sitting
talk.
right
They
there.
should have had an animatronic one talking to him, like in Pam and Tommy.
Oh, dude,
That would have made it even better.
it was so crazy, man. Like,
Yeah,
what a
that's-
way to start this season.
Yeah.
It's Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, dude.
What a
Like
way
it's
to
just
start this
true
season.
to their style of humor. Because if you remember, like, what's the movie Preacher? Preacher had some gross stuff in it, dude. Like when Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg get their hands on these comic book properties, they try to make them as gross as possible.
See, and I don't think it would have bothered me as much if it wasn't that it showed just the massive fucking dick.
Yeah,
From the dude's point of view, like just the massive dick. And I was like, all right.
it looked like a dead whale, like beached whale.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like, what
it
the
was
fuck
nasty.
is that? Like, it took me a minute to realize what it was. I was like, oh, dude, seriously?
I was
But-
watching it while I was working. I was like, oh God, I hope my wife doesn't walk in right now. Because she's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my
Then he, like,
gosh.
starts attacking Frenchie, and he's like, he's trying to climb in my butthole.
Yeah.
That was intense though.
Yeah.
That became really scary really quick. I'm like, oh dude, that would be terrifying. This little thing could climb into you and
Just
That's
expand
awesome.
and blow you up. And
The
Well,
best part is how they caught him. He catches him in a bag of Coke and then shakes it up and basically makes the guy almost overdose. And then to
Good
see
old
his
Butcher.
restraint where he didn't smash him, like he like wanted to smash him and he didn't. But I love how this show takes character premises like Ant-Man or Soldier Boy basically being Captain America and all these different characters that we know and love and warps them just a little bit. And Invincible does this as well, really well. And warps them into these like super adult R-rated, this thing might have been NC-17. I'm surprised it didn't get that rating.
well, it's on Amazon. It's a streaming service, so I'm not.
Yeah, but taking them and just showing us this adult version of what it could be if like Quentin Tarantino was directing one of these movies. Just as gross as humanly possible.
Yeah, and that's part of my issue though. Overall, like the story, I'm really enjoying for these 3 episodes. I think it's off to a strong start. I think it's really good. I really hope that this is finally the end of Homelander. That guy needs to be taken down. Like,
Yeah.
he's an amazing villain. He is. And that's when you know a villain's really good, when you're like, get this guy out of here. I really hope they finally take him down. But
He's essentially a superhero. Mac Morris.
yeah, but the gore, I don't mind gore, but it's just every time someone gets killed, it's like ridiculously over the top. And I feel like they could find some in between on some of the kills.
I don't
feel
know, I
they
like
just
it.
go too far on every single kill. I'm getting kind of starting to get annoyed that every time superheroes go like anywhere except for Maeve, and like Starlight, that they're always in their superhero gear. I'm like, bro, put on a different outfit. Like every now and again.
Well, we
put on
saw
a different
Homelander in a different outfit, or lack thereof.
outfit. Yeah, that's true.
No, I like the gore because if you tone it down, then it's just like every other thing I've seen.
I'm not saying get rid of it entirely, but I'm saying like every time anyone gets killed, it's like ridiculous. Like
Well, the
that
comic
girl,
is
that
over
girl
the top,
jumped.
so.
That girl jumps off the roof, and her whole body splatters into pieces.
Well,
Like,
it was like 100 stories or something like that.
She
So
was
yeah.
she was forced.
well, of
off
course
the
she was
roof,
going to
but,
die, but that's true. He pushed her. So I don't know. I just thought I feel like they're taking it further than they have, and it's unnecessary.
No one's going to mention the fact that he fingered a vegetable, essentially. Homelander fingers Stormfront or whatever her name is on her hospital bed. She has no arms or legs.
He does?
No, he doesn't. She jerks him off.
Oh,
Yeah,
she jerks. I thought he was.
No, she jerks him off because
Yeah,
he's
you were-
complaining about it shit, and she's like, "Oh, how can I make you feel better?" And then he fucking whips his dick out, and yeah, she's like sitting there all toasty and fucking jerking him off.
That was disturbing too. That the guy is just a disturbing man.
Yeah, I like that they push the boundaries because I feel like if they toned it down at all, it would be like everything else we've already seen. And I like that it's putting itself in a super, like we have all these superhero properties that have come out, right? And we have Invincible, and the live action is supposed to be coming out soon, which the live action would probably be that toned down version of what we're seeing in The Boys, right?
Oh, I don't
Everything's
think so. I think
finding
the live action's gonna go. It's gonna go.
You're
just
not
as
going to
hard as The
see
Boys.
somebody going in through a penis and exploding it.
No,
in
you're
Invincible.
not. But I think you're gonna
No.
see a lot of the gore that you see in the cartoon in the live action. Like you're gonna
Yeah,
see.
but I
dudes'
think
heads
in the
getting crushed
cartoon,
and
yeah, but I think in the cartoon, like it's not nearly as bad as this. I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't watched it in a while, but I don't know. I think everything's trying to find its space that it belongs in.
and
And
like
you have
again,
Marvel
it's not even
taking the family friendly. You have DC taking the dark stuff. You have, everybody's trying to find this, trying to make the same property, but trying to differentiate themselves from everybody else. And The Boys, I think, does a good job of that by being gross and over the top.
yeah.
Do we really want to see the same thing over and over again?
That's not what I'm asking for. I'm just saying.
No,
Not
I hear
every
what you're asking.
bit.
You want them to tone it down, but I think if you tone it down, then it's going to be too close to what we already get from everything else.
But then you get things like the Deep fucking his girlfriend or fucking his wife while he's basically like having essentially phone sex or cyber sex or whatever you want to call it, telepathic sex with an octopus that he later
That he
has
then
to
eats.
eat.
Oh,
He has
that
to
was
eat.
disturbing.
And he's got a family and begging for his life. It's just like
it's like he's
yeah.
praying. Oh, that was a
Yeah.
hard scene to watch.
That was. I'm like, you're not even gonna like kill it first. Oh, that
and
was
like when he squishes it in his mouth.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It takes quite a bit for me to like feel uncomfortable.
Why
with that kind of
why
stuff.
did Homelander make him do that?
Power and
He's
control?
he's a sadistic fuck.
Like he was trying to put power over him?
Yeah, he doesn't like that he's losing control of the Seven and the Say with Vought, and that they're listening to Starlight more than him. So, yeah, it's a control thing. That's the whole reason he was brought back into the Seven. So,
I need to
It's-
watch it again because I feel like
he-
I watched the first episode while I was working and like I thought that Homelander was doing
yeah, he's
stuff
an
to
alpha. There you
Stormfront.
go. That's
Yeah.
exactly. Homelander is an alpha.
Oh,
Well,
big
yeah,
time.
but he's doing it. He's doing it to continue to punish the Deep, but also punish Starlight because he basically raped her in
Yeah.
season 1, and that's why he was kicked out of the Seven. And now that she's getting all this power and say so, he doesn't like it because he's an alpha. So they're going, he's bringing the Deep back in to the Seven to hurt her, to piss her off, but also he's gonna make sure the Deep knows his place, that he's a bitch and that he's the bottom of the chain.
Yeah.
Is
Well, and dude, that scene when she tries to threaten him with the flight video, and he's like, you know what? I don't even care. Do it. You know what I'll do then? I'll go to the White House and I'll kill all the infrastructure. I'll kill all the leaders. And then I'll take out infrastructure, and then I'll do this and that. Like, and you know what? He could.
Yeah.
No one could stop him, really.
But
Yeah.
what I liked
Like-
about this show is
It's
that
crazy.
it shows superheroes in a different light.
I like that too.
We normally say, well, supervillains are the bad guys and the ones that destroy everything. And I like how this show shows supers as like they're not always necessarily helpful. That a lot of times they are the cause of what's happening, and they're the ones that fuck everything up worse than it is. Like when they're doing the flashback, and you see Soldier Boy show up with his whole ragtag group of people and stuff. So, and they all like fuck it all up by flying in the air and murdering all her people, and just like.
By the way, I think Jensen Ackles is going to be awesome.
And
Yeah.
So far, what I've seen.
Allegations of Soldier Boy fucking molesting gunpowder, and it's just like it's interesting to see them depict supers in that way.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what makes this show interesting.
I want to see the real Marvel bad guys on the big screen. What do you mean by that, Zaggy?
I am curious myself.
I always
Dr.
thought like
Doom.
a Doctor Doom movie would be really good, or a Magneto movie,
But
where it is like them against like Magneto against the X-Men or whatever, but the whole movie is from his side. Try to get us to relate to, like Black Panther tried to do this, right? Where it tried to get us to relate to Killmonger.
Black Panther did it well, and so did Infinity War.
Yeah, you try to relate to Thanos, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But a movie called Doctor Doom, which is basically his perspective of what's going on, or Magneto, or there's a couple villains that would be really interesting to have their own movie. Craven the Hunter and Morbius are not them.
They are not.
No, they are not. No, they are not. Butcher becoming a soup and not able to control it. That's been really interesting. I'm sure that's in the comics.
Oh, I get what he's saying. He's saying that bad guys fuck shit up in the comics and rape and kill and show it on the big screen. He wants
that won't
real
happen.
villains. Yeah,
that won't happen with Marvel.
Might have
I
no
would love
DC.
to see that too. Yeah, but
DC might be
Marvel
able to do that.
Marvel is sticking to this PG-13 thing. They had the opportunity to go really gross with Doctor Strange, and they didn't.
I know they didn't, but I've got some people that I know that are like, that movie was disturbing. I'm like, you haven't seen anything that was disturbing.
Yeah, let me tell you about a penis that explodes from Ant-Man, essentially. No, Doctor Strange would have been so much better if it was rated R. But I get why they don't do it.
Yeah.
But like really make it a Sam Raimi like horror spectacle would have been to push that envelope more than they did. But yeah, and in the comics, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Huey have superpowers in the comics?
I wouldn't know.
I'm pretty sure he does.
The comic.
It's been a long time since I read the comics too, but I'm trying. I think he has superpowers in the comics, so I wonder if eventually that might be coming.
Yeah. So I and maybe you haven't read the comics, Matt, really, but the idea that we're going with in this season is that Soldier Boy's not actually dead, right? And that he's been like probably put on ice by a bunch of Russians.
Yeah, he's probably like
because he's evil
cryogenically
Captain America.
frozen.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
I am
essentially
prepared to
he's
see a
frozen.
scene of his shield in ice. That's what I'm preparing myself for. Because why Russia?
And just speaking of Huey, Simon Pegg, I know was the original thought for Huey.
Yes.
So that's why he's his dad. His American accent is horrible.
Simon Pegg?
Yes, it was awful.
Oh yeah, it's always been.
It was so bad.
That didn't even sound like Simon Pegg to me.
No, it did to me.
No, I was listening to it. I was like, is that supposed to be Simon Pegg? Because he's always had a bad American accent.
Yeah, it's his face on the video, but it didn't.
So he does get powers in the comic because he's unwillingly enhanced with Compound V. So he gets powers from Compound V. Maybe. I mean, they did introduce that in the show with Butcher, so
that's what it wasn't unwilling. Butcher did it to himself.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Huey gets powers. Now Butcher has powers, if it's going to culminate to a fight between the two of them, because they have different ideologies. And Huey is reluctantly going towards Butcher's ideologies right now, but I think it's going to, it does every season. Huey starts to follow Butcher. By the end of the season, Huey's like, Butcher's an asshole. I'm going to go do what I think is right.
I'm going to be more, passive and try to do it the less violent way.
Yeah, but I do want to see a fight between Butcher and Homelander. I think that would be epic.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. Because they have very similar powers, right?
At this point, yeah.
Butcher and then gives the rest of them Compound V to be able to fight the Seven. So yeah, that's how they all get. So yeah, they do have powers.
Yeah, so it's going that way. And Frenchie might be one of my favorite characters.
I love Frenchie.
Yeah. I love how he's always trying to do like the right thing. I don't know. It's just a great show. There's not a lot to say after 3 episodes. They deliberately give you 3 episodes that don't give you too much, but they give you enough to keep you coming back every week. Yeah. Like I thought by the end of the 3rd episode, we were going to see the reveal of them finding Soldier Boy, but you don't get that. You just get the flashback.
Yeah, you don't get it. Yeah, you don't see. You just get the flashback, and then all of his like cohorts talking about him. And I just like the slow descent into madness you're getting from Homelander as everybody's turning on him. Like America's sweetheart, America's hero, and the face of heroes everywhere. And now you're slowly being turned on, and his slow descent downward.
I thought it was funny that now his supporters are all right-wing nut jobs.
Right.
It's like, well, you've lost the millennials and you've lost the all the people in California, but you're getting the people in like Texas.
Yeah. the wackadoos.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited for it. It was nice to see the boys back because it's been so long since the last season aired. It was pre-COVID, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was 2020.
Season 2 came out. Season 2 came out during COVID.
Yeah.
In 2020?
I want to say it came out last year.
Yeah, I think it was 2021.
Did it?
You're right, Matt. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I want to say it came out last year.
So I think the first season was 2019, and then I think they took a break in 2020.
Yeah, 2020. No, season 2 was 2020. Yeah.
That was 2020.
October
okay.
9th, 2020 is when season 8.
It's been almost 2 years.
I didn't realize it had been that long.
Yeah, wow. I was gonna say it. It's been a while.
It didn't feel like that long, but
it didn't.
Well, the last 2 years have flown by pretty quick because we've all been locked in our homes.
Oh, I was locked in my home for like 3 weeks. That's not why they've flown by.
Like that was with Fan Fusion. I was like, yeah, we went to Fan Fusion like 2 years ago, and Matt's like, no, it's been like 3.
Yeah. I haven't been to one in a long time. The last one I went to was right before I moved to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
2019 was the last one because 2020 got canceled because that was right at the start of COVID when things were locked down. Then 2021 got canceled. So yeah,
long time.
But yeah, I mean, if you're not watching The Boys, it's definitely worth checking out the first 2 seasons to get caught up before the new episode comes out next Friday. Just like I said, watch for the giant penises.
It's nice because we're right now. I love summertime when it comes to cinema and TV shows because we've got Obi-Wan coming out every Wednesday. Next week, Miss Marvel starts. Then we got The Boys on Fridays, and then Umbrella Academy is supposed to be soon too, right?
Yeah.
We've also got Stranger Things, the new season of
Stranger Things,
which I thought was fantastic. If you
Stranger
haven't watched
Things, it's awesome. Max needs to get on it. immediately.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk about it, I can log off the show.
I left it out because Lance didn't respond in our group chat like he never does. And
sorry, I've been.
And you said
get
you
my
have
ass
only
kicked
watched
on a
one
regular
episode,
basis,
so
dude. So
I didn't want to go too into it with only seeing one episode. But I loved part 1 of season 4.
I want to talk about it before the next 2 episodes come out
in July
for sure. Well, yeah, that gives Max 3 weeks to watch the remaining 6 episodes that he hasn't watched yet.
But
it's true. We'll see.
Super good though.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I liked it better than last season and the season before that. I love the first season.
All I know is that I want to play a D&D game put on by the Hellfire Club.
I want one of those shirts, the Hellfire Club shirts. Oh, they have the Hellfire Club shirt? Zaggy? I want to buy one of those.
Apparently so. Zaggy said he bought the shirt.
Yeah. I'm going to pick up one of those.
The Hellfire Club.
You know what I'm trying to find right now? Speaking of awesome things that have come out, Matt, I'm trying to find the Burberry blueberries or whatever they're called, Shoresy jersey.
Oh,
I can't find it anywhere. I can find the Letterkenny Irish.
I don't think
one.
they have it yet.
Yeah, if you see it, because I know you will probably see it, let me know because I'm getting that one. That logo is so cool with the bulldog biting the hockey stick in half. Yeah, Shoresy was awesome. I know you don't like it. You didn't like it as much, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as I liked Letterkenny.
I feel like this one actually has a storyline, whereas Letterkenny is every episode's just kind of like in itself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and
they're kind of like
made some
skits.
changes to some of the characters too that I was like, I don't understand. Like,
what other characters?
Jacques Jean, like JJ Frankie JJ, he speaks English.
Oh,
he speaks English in Letterkenny and then doesn't speak a word of English in Shoresy.
Yeah,
you know, like the rap dude on the team raps in English but speaks in French. Like, I don't know.
I think that's one of the reasons the show is so awesome, that it's just filled with like ridiculous inconsistencies.
I don't
know. What was the first thing I told you after I started watching it, Matt?
Yeah, there's a ton of hot girls.
I can't ever go to Canada.
But a lot of them are the same actresses that are in Letterkenny. The very first episode, the chick with like this ESPN knockoff, she plays Derry's like hot girlfriend in Letterkenny. That later is.
Oh, is that the same
Dirks.
one?
Yeah.
I thought I recognized her.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I love the show. I love it so much. I love Letterkenny.
I'll have to give it a couple more watches, but I didn't.
But like I said, it's an actually complete thought from the first episode to the last episode. It's an actual storyline, whereas Letterkenny's every episode's like a skit.
Well, I mean, they have an underlying storyline in it, but yeah, each episode is a different take.
Yeah, but because
Letterkenny is about the people of Letterkenny and their problems. Like, that's what the show is about. Shoresy isn't about that. Shoresy is just about Shoresy.
Never lose again.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of Shoresy.
And who gets game sticks.
Yep. Oh man, such a good
I read
show.
an article that like drumstick sales have doubled since Shoresy came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it insane the following that is? Like, I saw at least 4 or 5 people in Letterkenny jerseys at Fan Fusion.
Yeah.
It's insane how much it's exploded.
Mm-hmm. But
to the point where Jared Keeso, is that his name?
Kesso, yeah.
Kesso, where people are fan casting him as Wolverine.
Yep, I think he should be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Get on that, Max. Stranger Things.
Yes. It's in the pipeline.
Zaggy, I tried to watch the Kids in the Hall, the new reboot with my wife, and my wife said this is dumb, and she made me turn it off after 10 minutes. So now I got to watch it by myself. Do you guys know what Kids in the Hall is?
I watched the old one on Comedy Central. I haven't watched the new one.
Yeah, Max, Kids in the Hall is like a skit show, like SNL, but more It's not as like not in front of like live studio audience or anything.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Has the have you ever seen Superstore?
I love.
Yeah, I've seen Superstore.
You know the what's his name? Glenn. The
Yeah.
store manager.
Yeah.
He's one of the kids in the hall. He's one of the originals, and he was one of my favorite parts of Superstore.
Nice.
He's the one that kind of talks like this, like he has a high pitch. He's super Christian.
Super good.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I just feel like
Canadian
there's
comedy.
so much to watch. Like
There is.
short, strange. Like literally, we had Comic-Con, Shorzy, Stranger Things all in the same day, and then Obi-Wan. Oh, it's Obi-Wan too. So you had Obi-Wan, Comic-Con, Shorzy, Stranger Things all drop last Friday.
That was a day.
I thought Obi was skipping a week and coming back till next week, and then I found out that it came out, and then you had the boys drop early, so it was like, okay, so it's been a crazy week.
There's some good other stuff too that's not getting a lot of, like, my wife and I are a big fan of this show called The Wilds on Amazon. Season 2 is on there. We just started watching that last night. Then there's this show on Hulu called Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield. That's fantastic. There's a ton of stuff available right now for people to watch. Then you also got Barry on HBO.
I haven't watched any of season 3 of that yet.
That's so good. I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows. But yeah, there's a lot to watch, man. Like I feel like just 4 or 5 months ago, I felt like there was nothing to watch. And now, Better Call Saul just had
crap,
its
I'm behind on
mid-season.
that too.
Oh, dude, in the mid-season ended so good.
I haven't watched the last episode. Don't spoil it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that show's great. I was telling Oh, I was telling Jay. Jay's like, no, I haven't watched Better Call Saul. And I was like, well, you like Breaking Bad? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, watch Better Call Saul because it's just more of that. Like the new season is closer to Breaking Bad than any other season I've seen of Better Call Saul.
Well, I would hope so since they're leading into Breaking Bad.
That makes it more exciting.
Like just the way the story's written and stuff, like it's starting to feel like Breaking Bad. Whereas original seasons, like it definitely felt like its own thing. Now it's setting up. Well, it's been announced that Bryan Cranston and Jesse, what's his name?
Aaron
Paul.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Paul make a cameo this season, so it makes sense. Like it's starting to converge. So, it's so good, dude. I love that show. I don't know. You guys got anything else?
I don't know how you haven't watched the final episode yet of the season or in the first half of the season, because that comes back in July too.
Yeah, I plan on watching it hopefully tomorrow. I've just been busy. Like it's amazing I get to watch what I've been watching with school and work and everything else.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, so
get down on it. Get down on
dude, speaking of mooses or moose, there's no such thing as mooses.
Meese.
Zaggy, I saw this awesome video of a moose chasing a Kodiak bear, and the Kodiak bear was running for its damn life. It was hilarious. It was on TikTok. This moose was going to kill this bear. It was like easily a 400 or 500 pound bear.
Because everything you watch on TikTok is real.
It was I don't see how you could fake that.
I'm just kidding.
It was CGI.
TikTok is real life, man. Every time I see one of those, look at my wife react to me doing this, it's totally real. Come on. It's not staged.
Did you see the one of the guy that grabs her and jiggles her? Oh, dude, I laughed so hard at that one. It's one of my favorites. But I don't know. All right, anything else?
Moose in his house.
No, I'm good. I'm waking up at 4:30, so I was about to tell you guys I was going to have to log off. So,
that'll do it for this week's episode. If no one's got anything else, be on the lookout because we're gonna have new content coming to the channel. I got some stuff now to where I can do pre-recorded content. So I'm gonna probably bring back Matt and Matinee and do some movie reviews. So what my plan was with Top Gun Maverick was to do a standalone movie review on that moving forward, and we're just gonna have other pre-recorded content coming out. Hopefully, we can get it couple times a week, if not
I got
daily.
something in the works.
I'm actually recording something in a couple of weeks. A new
There we
project
go.
I'm
So
working on. So
we're gonna have a lot of content coming from the channel. Hopefully, gonna see some big growth going through the rest of the year. I know Lance and I are going to San Diego, so hopefully we'll get some good stuff there. Great stuff looking forward and coming. Ish is trying to set us up with an interview with someone from AEW. So if you're a wrestling fan, watch out for that when we can get that set up.
Awesome.
But yeah, we got great things coming, all kinds of stuff in the pipeline and in the works. But for this week's episode, this one right here, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
And
that's Max.
That's
who
Max
muted
on
himself.
mute.
It's called a keyboard and a mouse. That's Max. Play the music.
I'm Max. What the heck?
Max was quickly, fiercely Googling how to shrink into a man's penis before. So him and Lance
that's
can
his
do
plan
odd
on how to
things
kill
together. They can do odd things
Play
together
the video,
later.
Max.
That's not me. Is it me? All right. Hey guys, it's been a great show.
All you freaks and geeks.
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the